Hello, Buckaroo Banzai?
You a messenger? What you got here?
No, wait a minute. I need to see Buckaroo Banzai in person. My name is John Parker. Identify yourself, nah?
Blue Blazer regular, Pinky Carruthers. Sorry, John, everybody needs see Buckaroo. Later.
Hello, cadets. Welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room, episode number 118. By gosh, this is a double dose of bloody bear. I hope you can bear it. Let's give a round of applause to that terrible pun. Let's bring up our able-bodied assistants, Major Millie Hazzard, and well, that's not Millie Hazzard. That's the other guy. Master Sergeant Havoc.
I'm often confused for Millie.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, we do wear each other's clothes sometimes, but that's only under certain predicaments, you know.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know.
I thought it was the beard, but you know.
Well, when Millie shaves, you know, it's good.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's been hanging around with them Sasquatches too long. You know, she's starting to get some of that DNA in her.
A little. Let's not talk about the Squatch DNA. I have got nothing to do with the Squatch DNA on my body. I promise everybody.
I misspoke.
I'm trying to show off my new decapitated bear mug. This is the only time I'm going to use this is on this show.
Well, it works.
It's adorable. I think it's amazing.
I got this from the woman who created our theme song, Diane Marie Call. Thank you very much for that. And
we love Diane Marie. We love her.
We do.
Yes, David. Cadet Myers is doing the zip it thing. Yep, we zip it. We keep it zipped. Everything is confidential. You know, we're all military minds. We're all very confidential.
Right.
This is a kind of a interesting show because we have two clips from our opening credit scene. In this show, we're doing two movies: Prophecy, which is about a mutated, dangerous mutated bear run amok, and Cocaine Bear, which is a newer film about a bear on cocaine. So and how dangerous that can be, and it's exceedingly dangerous, as you will see. It's a very graphic, dark comedy, believe it or not. So I think both of them are kind of dark comedies, but that's just me, you know. So let's start with our Paramount picture, Prophecy, from 1978. This stars Robert Foxworthy, who at the time was a pretty big deal, especially on TV, and Talia Shire, who was also, you know, Rocky's girlfriend. So, Adrian! So we start out with, the helicopters with lights showing down into the woods, and they got some kind of search party going on. It's a search party in the middle of the night. Why? I don't know. So some of these guys realize that they're looking in an area that has a dangerous cliff, and they almost fall off the cliff. So they rappel down, and something attacks them. And when the dawn comes, we see the carnage all over the lake. So, yeah. And the hell is this?
Talia and her big fiddle.
Oh, no, that's right. It's a concert. Yes, that's right. Talia is a cellist. Isn't that the right term? A cellist?
Yeah, she's a cellist.
A cello player. And she's not on her game during this, and her friend is like, why don't you tell him? Why don't you tell him you're pregnant? So evidently she's pregnant, and she doesn't want to tell her husband. And he works in the ghettos as a as a doctor. A little peach tea there as the doctor. And he has to deal with little babies that are being eaten up by rats. That's Graham Jarvis on the left. I don't know his character name. I just know the actor's name. He was the original narrator for the Rocky Horror Picture Show on Off-Broadway. I know, it's amazing. It's amazing the kind of crap I stash away in my head.
I always confuse him with Frank Oz.
Yeah, he does look a lot like Frank Oz. Whereas Robert Foxworthy looks like Robert Foxworthy.
Yep.
There's no mistaking Robert Foxworthy. So he says, "I got this gig for you. It's in the woods. There's a plant where they process pulp and wood to make it into paper and stuff. And they're having problems with the local Indians. They're saying that they're polluting the waters in that area. Yep. And when Robert Foxworthy and his wife land, and they have a very quiet plane ride where they don't really talk to each other all that much. They're met by Richard Dicehart, who plays Isley. Isley is his name. And they see a dog, a hunting dog, being airlifted into the area. And Dicehart says, "Oh yeah, we had a search party out last night, and this was the only survivor." And they're airlifting him back in. Of course, he can't tell anything. He can't say anything. He's traumatized. And he's a dog.
Poor doggy.
So, I mean, that's something you don't see every day. So they're like, oh, that's weird. And they take a trip into the woods. There's a cabin out there they're going to let Rob stay at. Robert Foxworthy's character is named Rob, by the way. Talia Shirer's character's name is Maggie. And the Indians are blocking the path. And the Indians are led by Italian armandeassante. That's Hollywood for you. But he does a splendid job in this. That girl there is an Indian, actually. Her name's Ramona in the picture. Her real name is Victoria Racimo. And she was in, believe it or not, Ernest Goes to Camp. She was, know what I mean? Burn.
Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah, Ernest Goes to Camp. And she's in a lot of other movies. Unfortunately, she's passed. She's gone.
Aw.
As is Richard Dicehart, who's played a lot of bad villains, or a lot of good villains in bad movies.
Yeah.
He was the one that sunk the Poseidon in the Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah.
You go fast, I tell you. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's some
stuff I store in my head.
Yeah, one of the big plot points in the movie or the training film is that there's this conflict between the loggers or the paper mill,
right?
With the lumber mill and the local tribes,
right? So yeah, they're edgy, and it turns out that they're edgy for a reason. Anyway, the first day, Robert Foxworthy decides, decides I'm going to go fishing. I do my best thinking when I'm fishing, like Felix Flanken from Mad Monster Party, and sees a huge, humongous salmon, albino salmon. I'm sorry, that was me.
Well, bless you there.
And again, there's all kinds of crazy mutated stuff going on in this area. The Indians are being hurt because they're eating this fish, and this fish has been polluted. We find out a little later by mercury poisoning. They're dumping mercury into the water there, and that recorder that we saw a minute ago is important because he's recording all of his data for his man, my mind is not working today. For his report that he's going to give. To the Better Business Bureau, and Talia Shire still hasn't told him that she's pregnant, and she eats this fish, and he records on the thing, but it eats the fish, and then the fish, do this to it, and then it mutate, and everything's mutated, and they're visited by a rabid, what seems like a rabid raccoon. It's just crazy raccoon comes in, and he's messing around. And that was my raccoon sound, by the way. I thought Hazzard would like that. And you don't mess with Robert Foxworthy, damn it. That's what you learn from this movie. Don't mess with Robert Foxworthy. He picks it up with an oar and slings it in the fire.
That's right.
So don't mess with Robert Foxworthy, damn it.
That's right. And I got to say, Rabid Raccoon, it's one of my favorite Beatles songs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I understand that. Isn't that Rocky Raccoon?
Rocky Raccoon. Yeah, that's right. I see. I get it mixed up.
That's Adrian. See how we made that full circle?
There you go.
Adrian. So, it's funny. Armandeassante kind of reminds me of Stallone. There was a movie they were in together. I think it was Judge Dredd.
Yeah,
they're in the same movie, and it's like they're both going. They're both doing that. Anyway,
he plays the bad guy in that one. Yep.
Okay, so I missed some stuff here because he keeps going through the timeline, and we're just digressing. And I know it's going to be a long show, and I apologize because we're going to be doing 2 movies. But okay, so Robert Foxworthy. Damn it! Can we go back a slide or 2? Okay, this family is going through the woods together. It's a daughter and a son, and their dad, and the dad's like hearing something, and it's the bear. We know it's the bear, but he's like, nah, it's nothing. Yeah, there's just a pervert out here. It's okay. So they move on. And Robert Foxworthy meets with the Indians, led by John Hawkes, played by Armandeassante. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly because I invited him to come to the show, and he might be watching. Who knows?
Yep, but that's John Hawkes.
We still have Armandeassante. And what does David William Myers say there? Cadet Myers.
Best part of the show is digressing.
Digressing. Thank you. Yes. But I digress. So he's telling Robert Foxworthy what he needs to know for his report. Hey, I'm edgy. That there's all kinds of craziness going on with my people. There's this kind of Sasquatch creature that they talk about that they think is in the woods, and so Robert Foxworthy agrees to go with them to the main Indian encampment to take some blood samples, and he meets the elder of the tribe there. It's the grandfather of this Ramona, and they notice that he's got a little burn mark on his finger from where he doesn't feel the cigarette burning him. So he's got neurological damage, and this was a clue for Robert Foxworthy that might be mercury. Oh, excuse me, mercury. That's what we say, mercury. And there's a huge, gigantic, ugly tadpole that they see as well. So they go and they meet Isley, and they go to the logging camp where they treat the pulp and the wood and stuff. And he's got some silver stuff on his shoe. It's mercury. So he's like, I'm convinced now that it's mercury poisoning and it's illegal, and they've been doing it for decades, and it gets into the fish, and the fish get eaten by the animals and the people, and we're getting all kinds of mutations and stuff. And while he's recording all of this, Talia Shire's character, Maggie, is listening to him. And she's like, oh, great. Great.
And I ate the fish. Just ready
to tell him.
Yeah.
So they're camping, this family, and the bear shows up. And this is the first time we get to see the actual mutated bear.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
It's pretty gnarly. It's created by Tom Berman, special effects crew.
Yeah.
And Berman studied with John Chambers, one of the greatest makeup men in the business. Also invited him through his son Rob Berman to come on the show, but never got a reply. But in case they see the show, we'll probably send them a link to the show. Just want to know that we gave him a nod, and it's a very gnarly bear. And this is in the opening credits where the kid who's zipped up in the sleeping bag gets hit by the bear, and it's a nod to the Revenge of the Creature. Where he hits the guy and the guy flies across and hits a tree and obliterates. His body obliterates. So, yeah, we just see the feathers from that down zip bag, sleeping bag, poof, everywhere. It's a slumber party from hell. So every kid was talking about that when this movie came out. When this movie came out, man, I'm telling you right now, every kid was talking about that kid being obliterated in the sleeping bag. That was the thing.
Yeah,
that was the money shot, as they say.
Yeah.
Okay, so we shoot forward to the Indian encampment. They're looking a little peaked, and he's taking blood samples, and the Isley's men show up because they found the campers, and they think that the Indians killed the campers. So there's a real tense exchange between Isley and John Hawkes. John Hawkes runs, punches a guy, runs off into the woods, and Rob goes to Ramona and says, "Hey, if you know where he is, I need to talk to him because I think I know what's going on here." And she agrees to take him. So they get in a helicopter. There's the pilot, played by Tom McFadden. He's like, "Hey, the weather's getting really bad. I don't think we're going to be able to get out of here if you don't hurry. You better find this guy and hurry real quick." And they see trees with huge claw marks, bear claw marks, way up higher than they should be. And they find armandeassante, and they find two mutated bear cubs. One's dead, one is alive.
Mm-hmm.
So they take them both. They pack them up, and of course they have to tie the helicopter down now because the rain and the winds are just too bad. And I don't even remember whose idea it is, but they said, "Oh, the Indian encampment's just a couple miles from here. Let's go there. Let's walk."
Yeah, I think it's
you
Rob.
could wait till the rain, goes down, and just sit by the helicopter there.
Yeah. Well, they wanted to keep the little mutant bear warm. So we got to keep it warm. This is our evidence.
That's true. But hey, put it in the helicopter.
Right?
They
had a heater in there.
But they decided to give the warming up of the killer bear cub to Maggie. Shit, this is a rough movie for Maggie. All the way around.
Yeah.
This poor Maggie is just emotionally messed up. She has to coddle a killer bear cub. Just not good. Not a good weekend for her.
Nope.
So, we're moving forward here. They're at the Indian encampment, and she keeps trying to tell him, but she's looking at this mutated bear cub. She's like, "Oh God, this is terrible." And moon's high in the sky, and finally she breaks the news to Rob.
Yeah,
I'm pregnant. And now, you've made me eat mutated salmon, and we're in trouble. And that's the look of Robert Foxworthy when he finds out his wife is pregnant and he's going to be a mutated kid.
Yeah. And the noise, the creepiest thing about it is that noise that this thing makes. This weird mewling, growly, it's just like, ew.
The baby bear?
Yeah, it just gives you the heebie-jeebies. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good at that guy. I can impersonate killer bear cubs.
You're a man of many talents, General.
Isley and his men show up just to ratchet up the tension a little bit. And then the chief of the tribe shows up dressed as Bigfoot. This is a great fake out, but the bear's right behind him. "Hey, I'm over here." So he sees the mutated bear for the first time. He thinks it's the ancient god of revenge or whatever for the Indians.
Yeah.
The Indians. The bear wreaks havoc. He goes after Maggie. Talia Shire. What do I say?
Where are you, Rocky?
Poor thing. Hey, don't mess with my girl, eh? But, but you got to hand it to Talia Shire. When she gets into a movie, she gets really strong men. She's from Robert Foxworthy, man. Don't mess with Robert Foxworthy.
That's right. Yeah.
So they're trying to get the cub and the people down into an underground cavern that they've created, like a little foxhole kind of thing underneath the encampment. And of course, there's this huge long scene, which I didn't put all the slides here, but there's a huge long scene of them under there, all looking up, and they're hearing the bear up there. And then the sheriff goes, "Hey, let me take a look." Always a bad move. Always a bad move. He peeks up, the bear messes his face all up there. He saw it. And of course, there's Indians burning on fire. The bear was knocking them into fires and stuff. And the chief is watching, and the chief is like, "Oh, I can't believe that this would happen." So the next day comes, and the bear's gone. Even though there's a cub underneath the ground there, and it's biting Talia Shire, biting her neck. Oh, no, that doesn't happen yet. But it does a couple times. Dysart's like, I didn't know, Isley. I didn't know. I didn't want to know. Yeah. So he wants to make nice. He wants to do what's right. So he goes, there's a tower, a radio tower, just a couple of miles from here. I'm going to go up there and try to radio for help. And they go, okay, we're going to start heading towards wherever. The pilot got all messed up too, and they got him on a kind of a makeshift stretcher thing. And they're carrying him along. Ramona is helping her grandfather along. And they're going to the regular Indian encampment. The village. This is an encampment. There's a village. So they're heading for the Indian village.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the helicopter pilot. Anyway, I don't want to give away too much already. But he's just strapped down to that stretcher there where he can't move. And again, this happens in both these bear movies. Never strap a person down because they just become bear fodder. So Isley makes it to the tower just as the bear decides, "Hey, I'm going to hang out by the tower."
Yeah.
And he goes after him, and Isley tries to go over the fence. He can't go over the fence. He tries to go under the fence, and well, there it is. We see his molars.
Yep. This poor guy, he's getting eaten up by a bear, gets his hands chopped off by a killer torso.
What?
By an alien torso. Well, another training film.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's also, you're right. He's also the doctor in, that was probably his last great role was in
The Thing, John
The
Carpenter's
Thing. Yeah.
The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yep.
Not the other thing.
Nope.
But John Carpenter's The Thing.
Carpenter's Thing.
You know what? These movies kind of intertwine this season because we got Godzilla versus The Thing coming up this season. And we have The Thing, and we have Richard Dysart. So
there you go.
So it's all connected. It's all part of the plan. So she keeps moving forward here. Guys, stop digressing. So anyway, armandeassante finds John Hawkes finds a vehicle that he's able to hotwire, and that's going to get him out of there quicker. And then, of course, they run into the bear. Hey, I'm waiting for you.
Just flips that thing over. This is a
very smart mutated bear. So he knocks the vehicle over. The little bear is biting Talia Shire's neck.
Yeah.
Ah! So she's not happy. They all try to get out of the vehicle, and they leave the poor pilot guy there on the stretcher, and the bear gets the pilot's head. He just takes his head right off of there. Ah! Oh,
yeah.
And that's what happens to him.
Poor guy
So
just
that
lost
was
his
Tom
head.
McFadden as the pilot who gets decapitated by the bear.
Yep. Sometimes, dealing with killer bears, you just lose your head.
Yeah, there it is. I am trying to see what we have here.
There's folks running through the woods, and they find the river.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, they have to cross a river to get away from the bear.
Yeah, to get to this cabin.
And Talia Shire and this little cub bear, man, oh man, it keeps biting at her. Robert Foxworthy funny has had enough. I don't care if it's
evidence or something.
Evidence. Thank you. My mind is just not working tonight. He drowns the bear cub. Like, you keep biting my woman. Gah! He just
you don't mess with Robert Foxworthy.
Because he's Robert Foxworthy. That's right. So, and he's a tough guy. I love the shot Robert on the far right bottom there because that's Ramona looks back to see that the Indian leader, tribal elder, is being slung around in the air by the bear because he decided to hold back. Like, why are you doing this to us? Not realizing, okay, it's just a mutated bear. It's not a god, that we. So the bear is coming after them. They make it to the dock of the place. I think it's the place where Maggie and Rob were staying. There, the cabin.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah, in the earlier part of the film. So how they figured out that it was that way and they could go that way and get to the cabin, I don't know. But anyway, there it is. So the bear keeps coming after them across this lake. And they had to swim their ass off to get to that dock. And they're watching it. They're just sitting there going, oh, God, he's still coming. Of course he's still coming. You just killed his bear cub.
Yeah. And then it sinks, and they think, oh, it's drowned. And nope.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a bear. It can swim. So Robert Foxworthy goes to and gets the gun off the wall, which is a kind of a, you would think it's just kind of decorative, but there's actually a box of shells on the shelf there underneath.
Just a couple of
shells,
it
works. But there's only 2 or 3 shells, I think.
Yep.
Well, so he's not happy about that. So they have the obligatory scene where everybody's, is he over here? Is he over here? Where is he? Where's the bear? Huh? They're waiting. And they try to barricade the place up as best as they can. And the bear just takes out like the whole side of the building like that. Bam! Okay, so much for putting stuff up against the doors and windows. He just takes out like the roof and a huge chunk of the wall.
Yeah.
This is a very strong mutated bear. So they shoot at it, and pieces of debris are flying around and hitting Ramona. And that's like a concrete column. I don't know where the hell that came from a wooden cabin, but anyway, it takes her out, crushes her. The bear keeps coming. He's shooting at it. Armandeassante is hitting it with arrows. He's got a bow and arrow for like the last half of the film, and you're like, shoot the bear, shoot him.
Yep. That's how you know he's an Indian.
This bear. So he hits him with the last arrow. He hits him with like 2 or 3 arrows, and the bear takes a swipe at him, and he's just dead. He's just out of it. He's out of the game. Game over.
Mm-hmm.
So Robert Foxworthy gets really upset. And this is bad. When Robert Foxworthy gets upset, he's like the Incredible Hulk. So he grabs one of the arrows and he's sticking this bear in the eyes, sticking the bear in the neck. He's fighting. And all these people that so easily died with this bear's like, oh my God, it's Robert Foxworthy. So that's the look right there. That's the last thing the bear saw is those eyes covered in blood. It's crazed Robert Foxworthy eyes. Oh my God. So, that was just a long, drawn out up to that last point where Robert Foxworthy's just had it. That's it. I've had it.
I am sick and tired of this freaking bear.
So yeah, there we go. And they have the lovely scene in the hospital where everything's going to be all right between Maggie and Rob, and a helicopter's flying over the woods, and we see another mutated bear. Okay, it's all over.
Yeah. Well, I thought they were in the plane.
Oh, is it a plane? I'm sorry.
Yeah, ma'am.
So
yeah, then you get the jump scare with the bear popping up.
Yeah. And again, in the 70s, that was the ending. It's like, it's not really over, folks. That's what they always did in those movies.
Yeah.
So, but just what we've learned from that is if you ever go on a hunt for a deadly bear, take Robert Foxworthy with you.
And some arrows.
Anything sharp. Take Robert Foxworthy with you. Make sure he's got a Rambo knife. Hey, dude. Universal Pictures. We start out this cocaine bear with a guy actually dancing and throwing bags of cocaine off of an airplane. And the stuff in this movie, the shtick that they came up with this movie is really, really funny. Really dark humor, but really funny. He goes to leap out of the plane and hits his head on the roof. So he doesn't make it to Earth. I mean, I think they say his reserve chute opens, but it didn't save him, Yep. And this is based on true stories there. And then we get some notes about a black bear, usually don't attack people, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And are not motivated by territoriality. So they seldom attack humans in their vicinity. They're not territorial is what they're saying, but that's on Wikipedia. So, and that's the gag. That's the joke. The second credit is source Wikipedia.
Yeah. So it's got to be true.
Which I thought was very amusing.
If it's on Wikipedia, it's got to be true.
I use Wikipedia a lot, probably more than I should. And I guess I speak for a lot of people with that. Okay, so in the beginning of the film, we meet the two lovers, Olaf, played by Christopher Hivja, and Elsa. Let it go, let it go. And they're lovers. They're planning out their future, and they come across a black bear. And he's a photographer. He's got a nice big camera there. He's saying, I'll take some pictures of it. But they notice that the bear is hitting its head against the tree. There's something wrong with this bear. So it attacks. It attacks him right away. It's very aggravated and upset. And it drags her off into the woods, throws her leg out there towards Olaf, and we get the opening cocaine bear. Now, this is not a bear made... this is not trained bears like Gentle Ben. This is not bears made by an effects company. No, this is just CGI bear.
Yeah.
Hey, boo-boo, let's go get some picnic baskets. Let's go get some cocaine. Yay.
Oh, Yogi.
But Yogi, I want an 8-ball.
The ranger said, stay away from drugs.
Come on, boo-boo, we're bears. We'll maul him. Never said in any Yogi Bear cartoon. So we get our introduction to our detective, Detective Bob, and his assistant, Reba. And they talk about Ray Liotta's character, Sid, who's a drug dealer. This guy who's dead with a bump on his head. Don't even remember the name of his character, but they find him, and he's the connection to all the others. So we meet, excuse me, David, who works for Sid. This is Ray Liotta's last movie, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's really, really nasty in this. He's just really nasty.
Yeah.
He leaves a kid home alone, like a little kid, like 5-6 years old, home alone, hours away, to come and get these drugs.
Yeah, and it's his grandkid too. It's
yes,
crazy.
So yeah, Eddie, his son, and David are sent to go to the Chattahoochee Forest Reserve to pick up these bags of cocaine, because somebody that they bought the cocaine for is going to want this cocaine. So David has to go to the bar where Eddie is drinking himself into a stupor because he's I think it was his fiance died.
Yeah, fiance or wife, I remember. Yeah,
I think it was
like
his
that.
fiance, and she was going to be his wife, and he was very happy with her, and she passed away, and he's been grieving for months.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, we also meet Sari, played by Kerry Russell, and her daughter, Dee. And they've got kind of an estranged relationship because Dee is a single mom, and she's dating a new guy that works at the hospital where she's working, and she's working extra shifts.
Yep.
So her daughter's not happy about that. Her daughter wants to go, there she is, wants to go and paint the waterfall, whatever the hell that means. So Sari comes home after a long shift, and her daughter's gone. But she has left her backpack, which has a bunch of clues saying, hey, she's going to go paint the waterfall without mom. So then we get to the major cabin where the Rangers are, the Ranger cabin.
It's like a Ranger station or something.
Yeah, we meet Ranger Liz, who's a great character. She smokes when she's not supposed to. The local creeps, there's 3 of them. They're just called Kid, Vest, and Ponytail. This is Vest. And he's stealing from her, and she's not happy about it. But she doesn't know it yet. She realizes it a little later. And then Peter shows up, and Peter is like one of the guys that works with her, the Rangers, and he brings in Smokey the Bear cutouts and stuff. and she's hot for him.
Very hot. Yep.
Yeah, she's hot for him.
She's like putting on perfume and all this stuff.
So we meet Henry, who is Dee's friend, and they're planning their trip up to paint the waterfall without their parents. And again, don't leave your kids alone. Don't leave your kids alone too long. Nope. And they find one of the little packages of cocaine from one of the duffel bags.
Yep.
And they decide to do some cocaine.
Yeah, but they try to eat it.
Yeah, they eat it because they think that's how you do it. And then the bear, of course, his claw comes up and takes some of the cocaine. So the bear is there, and they meet up with the bear face to face, and the bear sneezes in their face.
He's all coked up. Yep. Or
yeah.
she.
Yeah, it's a girl bear.
Yeah, but I think but we don't find out about that until later. But.
Right. We don't find out about that until later. And then Eddie and David are talking in the truck. Eddie is still grieving, major grieving, and it's caused him to say bad things about David not being his best friend, and he's supposed to be his best friend. So again, it's all character stuff mostly in the first 30 minutes of the film. You don't get to see a lot of the bear, yep. But they make up for that.
Yep. And then Felicity shows up at the station.
Yes.
I mean, sorry.
Sorry. Is Kerry Russell Felicity? Is that who she?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know she's done a lot, but all right. So yeah. So. She shows up because Peter is there. Ranger Liz doesn't want to deal with her at all. She's like, I think my kid is out in the woods and we need to find her. Oh, great. So they go off looking for, not Liz, Dee. They go off looking for Dee.
Dee and
Peter is played by Jesse Tyler Ferguson, character actor that's done a lot of funny stuff. Mm. And he's quite flamboyant in this. So David and Eddie show up at the ranger station there right after they leave. And the 3 local punks decide they're going to mess with Eddie, not realizing who he is. And he proceeds to clean up the bathroom with them.
Yeah.
he has a huge fight where he knocks all of them out, gets a knife in the back, which we see in a second. Damn, that's my favorite shirt. Got a knife sticking out of his back. Again, the little details in this shtick are really quite amusing. So he has to pull the knife out of his own back, and Eddie comes in. Goes, "What the hell's going on here? What happened?" And then they find one of the bags of cocaine on one of the kids, and I think it's Ponytail that had it in the back pocket. And so David puts it in his back pocket, and they wake up the one that's got the bleached hair, looking like Slim Shady.
Yeah.
And they make him tell them where he stashed a bag of the cocaine, which was in a pavilion. There's a pavilion thing that they got to go to. So we get I'm sorry.
No, it's in a gazebo.
Gazebo.
It's like a gazebo. It's like, when pavilion thinks it's, I know what a gazebo is, and the other guy's like, I didn't.
So Bob is on his way. Oh, there's also some shtick here where Bob gets a dog that he doesn't think is appropriate for him.
Yeah, tiny little.
It's not a manly dog. It's kind of a foofy dog, and he's struggling with the fact that he likes the dog, but he just doesn't think it's appropriate for him.
Yeah.
So he ends up giving it to his assistant Reba while he goes off to the woods here. He says, "Can you take care of it for a couple of days while I go off to the Chattahoochee ranger station and check for this cocaine and all?" And she agrees to take it. And he finds out on this journey that he misses and loves the dog. He does.
Yeah.
So,
well, the movie, the movie takes place in the 80s, David.
Okay. Yeah.
I bet Meyer's wondering when it takes place in the 80s.
Yeah, that's true. So they find Henry, who's climbed up a tree. I mean, really climbed up high into a tree. And he is not coming down. And they're like, "Well, why are you up there? What are you doing up there? Why don't you come down?" And he's like, "No, I can't. The bear." "What bear?" "Bear." Of course, the bear is there because there's a big bag of cocaine down there. One of the bags of cocaine is down there. Again, there are several bags of cocaine that are out here in these woods. And the bear is kind of sniffing them out and finding them and doing the cocaine. So the bear shows its ugly head, rears its ugly head. He's making noises, and they're screaming and they're running around. And the bear grabs the guy, Peter, and drags him into the woods. And then he gets free and starts scrambling around, and he finds one of the bags of cocaine all busted open, and he basically bathes himself in cocaine, not realizing it. And Ranger Liz starts shooting. She's not very smart about, hey, don't shoot in the area where your partners are or where people, And the bear sneaks up on her and takes a nice chunk out of her ass.
Yeah.
You don't believe me? There it is. You didn't think I'm not going to put that in here, right? So Peter has already told Henry, "Hey, bears can climb. You shouldn't have gone up a tree. Bear can climb up after you." And even so, he decides, "I'm climbing up a goddamn tree." He climbs up the next tree next to the kid. And the bear smells the cocaine on him. He starts patting his shirt and goes, "Oh no!" And there's dust coming all off of him. And the bear is going up the tree after him. While the others watch, including the kid, the bear mauls him on a high tree branch in that tree to get the cocaine off of him. And that's when Sari tells Henry, "Come on down. This is our chance to get away." And he struggles with it, but he finally jumps down to her, and they run off. And of course, the Ranger Liz, also has run off, leaving them to deal with the bear on their own. And we see the demise of Peter.
Yeah.
So parts of him start falling out of the tree. The bear goes down and starts licking the cocaine off the body parts. So after that,
this
she
kid,
goes, "Where is Dee? Where's my daughter?" He's like, "Well, she said she was going to go, paint the waterfall, but then the bear came and and she ran off. So she's still alive. We know that. So they're going to go looking for her. Her mother says, we're going to find her. So back at the ranger station, Liz comes back to see one of the other slugs, Ponytail is his name, stealing from her. And she's not happy about that. But this bear is on its way, and the bear starts banging on the door. So Liz pulls her gun. She says, the guy, I guess, decides to open the door. And she goes, "Be careful!" Yeah. And Ponytail opens the door, and the bear's, he's coked up on cocaine. And Liz tries to shoot him, and ends up, hitting the kid that's in the way. Ponytail blows his head off, blows the top of his head off. And the bear gets covered in blood, and Liz gets covered in blood, and the guy falls down in front of the door, closing the door and making it very hard to get in the door. So the bear starts making his way around the cabin. Again, this is all funny shtick, even though it's very dark and very cryptic. The other kid is there. He's covered in blood now. He's not happy. His friend just got shot in front of him.
Like, you shot him.
Yeah. So they hear the bear on the roof. So they're looking up at the roof, and he's by a window, and the bear takes his head off. Bear's claw comes right through the window, takes his head off.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one maniacal killer bear. A lot of shtick going on between these three as they're going to the gazebo.
Yeah.
And the Eddie is kind of bonding with what's his name? Kid. Calls himself Kid.
Mm-hmm.
And Henry and Sari start to find things from Dee. She's leaving a trail. She's leaving paint on the ground. She's leaving her backpack stuff. Or not her backpack stuff, but I guess it's Henry's backpack stuff. An ambulance shows up. I guess Liz called 911.
Yeah.
And they have a hard time getting through the door because there's a body of Ponytail in front of the door. And
some more shtick there.
Yes.
With them trying to open the door.
Trying to open the door and get in. Liz cannot talk now. She's just traumatized. So the medic goes up to her, puts the thermostat.
The stethoscope.
Stethoscope. Thank you. That's why I have you here. Because I just forget words now. It's Alzheimer's. I know it's Alzheimer's. That's going to be the monster that takes me out. She takes the stethoscope and she says, "Bear!" She realizes it just as her partner is going to open the door where the bear is, with the body of the other kid. Vest.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there's something on the other side of this door. So he opens, he sees the mangled body and the bear. The bear's not happy. Yeah. He tries to close the door. The bear. Now, what's funny here, and I just noticed this just now, is that the door opens in to the room, but the bear actually is so powerful, I guess, he's able to knock the door out the other side.
Yeah.
That's kind of a gaffe right there. If the door had opened out, it would have made more sense. Okay, but I digress. So there's the bear. Oh, jeez. He just lost 4 pounds all brown. And that's when she says into the stethoscope, "Bear!" So the door comes down on top of the second guy. Now, you'd think that would probably crush him. And even the bear is kind of jumping up and down on the thing to kind of squash him a little bit. But he's still alive. He's still in pretty good shape. So he's reaching, and you think he's going to reach for the knife to stick the bear, and he reaches for his duffel bag and hits the bear with his duffel bag. Now, the duffel bag, the medic duffel bag, looks a lot like those duffel bags that have the cocaine in them.
Yeah.
So he throws it over the side, and the bear goes for the duffel bag thinking there's cocaine in it. So it gives him enough time to crawl out from under the door and run after. She's already put the woman, Liz, into the back of the paramedic thing and strapped her down to the gurney.
Yep.
And she's starting the van up already. She's on her way out. I mean, that's fast. So he has to run after. He has to run after the ambulance to jump in the back. Liz has got her gun in her hand still. So even though she's strapped down, she's able to pull the gun up. And you think he's probably going to get shot by Liz because the bear is after them and she wants to shoot at the bear. But he gets out of the way, unlike the ponytail kid. And the bear jumps into the back of the vehicle. He fights with the guy as Liz falls out face first onto the pavement on the gurney.
Oh.
And while this is going on, the girl who's driving is turning around to see that the bear is attacking the guy, and she doesn't realize it, but she's gone off the road, and she hits a tree and comes through the front windshield. She's gone. So now all three of them are dead. and you hear me laughing. I shouldn't be laughing, but it's quite amusing the way it all works out and breaks down. Okay, so we come back to Eddie and David and a kid, and they get to the gazebo. And they talk about the gazebo, and Eddie's upset. Oh no, David is upset because he thinks the guy's jerking him around. And guess who gets to the gazebo first? Bob, the detective. He showed up, and he found the cocaine bag. So when they get there, the kid is like, I know you're going to be angry with me, and I'm very upset. I mean, I don't know. I'm very sorry. I don't know why, but the bag is gone. So now he's going to be killed by David. And then Bob shows up at the top of the gazebo. He goes, no, I got what you want right here. He goes, and you're going to come with me. And he says, no way. I'm going to call you bluff. And Bob shoots 2 fingers out with 1 shot. It's an amazing shot. And Kid even says, how does he do that? How do you shoot even the side 1 shot?
And they're not even side by the same side.
By side. It's like, how the hell did he do that? That's pretty amazing. So yeah, that's pretty funny. So he's got to take his favorite shirt now and wrap up his bloody hand with two missing fingers. He tells his friend Eddie to grab the 2 fingers and put them in his pocket, which he does. They are still looking for Dee. Dee has found the bear's cavern. So she is in there now, holding up. And there's the cocaine bag on the roof. And the bear shows up. Because there's cocaine. So they hit the deck. They hit the ground. Bob's on top of the gazebo, so he feels safe. And the bear collapses because he's, coming down from his cocaine high on top of Eddie. Yeah. He just collapses.
Yeah.
And, Eddie is talking from underneath him. He's like, I can barely breathe, but I can. And they have some back and forth, because David is all about getting the cocaine back for his boss, Sid.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, there's no way we're going to let you get out of here with that bag of cocaine. And he's like, didn't you see I'm trying to help you here? And the mother, Sari, and Henry meet up with Olaf. He's still alive, amazingly. And he tells them about the sad incident with his we had this conversation earlier on about fiancés, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's losing their fiancé in this film.
Mm-mm-mm.
The bear wakes up because they took too long. And that's right. The bag of cocaine falls out of the back of David's pocket.
Yeah.
And when it hits the ground, the bear wakes
The
up.
bear's like, oh,
cocaine.
cocaine.
Exactly. Hey, he brought us what we want. Some cocaine. So the bear gobbles it down. Bob is amazed. And the bear starts to dance with Eddie. And it could be terrible for Eddie and the others who are there close. So Bob decides, hey, I'm going to give the bear some more cocaine. So he splits open a package and starts dusting the area with cocaine. And this is the other scene from our opening sequence where the bear is slow motion going for that cocaine. Now, that might actually be a real bear in the top picture with the cocaine dancing around him. The powder.
I think it's all CGI.
You think it's CGI?
I think it's all CGI. Yeah,
all
they kept
CGI.
it. Yeah.
The cocaine is CGI. The bear is CGI. Yeah, you're probably right. That's the way they do it today.
Yeah.
So again, it's a standoff between Bob and David, and then Bob gets shot from off left, and it's Sid. Sid has shown up. And Bob actually kicks the bag and it falls off the gazebo, so it's down there by them now. Now, I can't remember why the bear is not messing with these guys right now. I've forgotten what happened to the bear here. But they have a big long scene where Bob finds out that his assistant Reba is working for Sid. And all he cares about is the dog. You still have the dog? Is the dog alive? Is he okay? Is she okay? People trusted you. We trusted you. Now, this is where it starts to get dark. Okay, the bear grabbed that's what it is. He grabbed the duffel bag and headed into the woods. That's what happened. And so Sid and his men have to go after the bear because they want that cocaine. Sid wants that cocaine. If he doesn't get the cocaine back, he's a dead man. The people he got the cocaine from want their money. So in the cavern, we find that there are 2 cocaine bear cubs. They're dusted good. The bear dragged one of the duffel bags of cocaine into the cave there. But we also find D. So there's a nice reunion there. They go through the back of the cavern to where the waterfall is. It's an opening to the waterfall. Now, Sid and his guys show up and they find Olaf has been mangled. He got killed. He didn't want to go into the cavern, so he got killed. And they find the cavern. They got flashlights. So again, there's a bunch of shtick going on in the cave where Sid's like, we got to get that cocaine. And Reba says, you know what? Yeah, murder is not part of the plan for me. I'm out. And you think she's going to get shot by Sid, and she gets away. So they keep moving forward. And Sid and his guys, David and Eddie, meet up with Sari and the kids. And the cubs. And I'm trying to see what's going on here. It's very dark.
They jump off the cliff and into the water.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. They end up jumping off the cliff into the water because the bear is back. And Sid shoots the bear. He kicks one of the cubs too, which causes the bear to return. That's what, and the bear's angry. And Sid just shoots it. And it looks like it killed. And for some reason, Eddie and David decide they're going to jump. I think they want to get away from Sid.
Yeah.
And because he's just crazy now. And he's trying to get the bag of cocaine, which is on a branch high above him. And it's the strap of it is wrapped tightly around that branch. So it's not easy to get it. So he's trying to get this bag and some of the cocaine tips out and hits the bear. And it's a Popeye moment because the bear sniffs in the cocaine. And it's like, da, 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 da. It's like when Popeye gets spinach. he spits out the bullet, which is a great bit. And he goes after Sid, and he's pulling on Sid. Sid's trying to pull on the bag. He gets the other strap around his neck, and the bear cuts open his stomach, so his entrails come out. Sid falls, and the little baby bears go after his entrails.
Yeah.
So it's like, joke on it, Day of the Dead, So Sid rolls off into the thing. He's dead. He's dead. So we come back to the Ranger Park area, and Reba gives the dog, Bob's dog, to Eddie. So we have kind of a death scene before this with David. So you think David might have died, but he's in the truck and he's okay. He didn't die. And Eddie, maybe they tried it with test audiences, and they decided let's let David live. So there's this shtick where, okay, we're best friends, and okay, you got a dog now, and life's going to be better. And then the parent, you're going too fast. We're making good time here. We're only 1 hour into the show. We started late. So we're only 1 hour into the show. We got both films done. I thought we were going to go a lot longer, believe me. And Sari and her daughter kind of make peace with each other. And they're telling Henry, don't look at the dead bodies. They come across Ranger Liz and the ambulance that's wrapped around the tree. So just don't look. It's
you don't want to look at it. And then the kid says, "Oh, I guess we're gonna have to go to rehab now." Like, what? Why?
For the cocaine you ate.
No.
Yeah, the fact that they put kids together in this film with not only cocaine but bloody mangling, bears mangling people. Wow, that's pretty ballsy. That's pretty gutsy right there.
Yeah.
But they managed to pull it off. And the last thing we see is a nod to Ray Liotta, who passed away before the film was finished. Oh no, I'm sorry. We have the they never found the cocaine. They say they never found the cocaine, And the last thing we see in the movie itself before the credits is somebody is photographing the bears playing, and then they go, oh, wait a minute, the bears look angry. And it's going to be another fatal attack. So it comes full circle. That's how the film started, with Olaf and his fiancée Elsa, and here it is again. Going to start all over again. Grr. Mama Bear is still alive. So again, we get a little nod to Ray Liotta. We love you, Ray, in memory of you, and then the credits, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the two most deadly bear attack films. I mean, there's another film called Grizzly, which I haven't seen yet, so I shouldn't say that, but these are two of the most heinous bear attack films ever recorded, ever made.
Yep.
So I thought we would put them together in the same show and kind of compare them, and the classic along with this film, which is a new film. We need to do more new films, I think.
Yeah.
Even though I like doing the classic training films.
The only thing I gotta say though, with the cocaine bear, I just felt like there was just way too many characters. And like in that first one, the prophecy, you basically focus on Robert Foxworthy, and his character, and Talia and the Indians, and
Maggie.
Yep. Who
and
we never
Isley
know.
is the only guy from the bad company. They don't give you names and real characters from them. They're just thugs. Isley and his thugs.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
but there's
a lot of characters and a lot of them die in Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry we lost Bob. He was a good character that I liked, but well, there it is. When you're dealing with the dangerous like this,
Yep.
Can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
That's right.
Not to go totally cliche, but there it is. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this, Hazzard.
Yes, that was. It was a cute bear, but it was a little astounding, a little weird. I hadn't thought about cocaine and
But
bear.
the first one?
Well, I'm talking about the second one now.
The first one was cute?
I'm just no, not at all. But here's what I want to say:
Not at all.
What we're learning here, cadets, is that drugs don't mix well with animals as well as people. I mean, it's a good thing to learn, I think.
Don't give your animals drugs, okay?
No,
come on.
No, don't give them drugs.
They have a short enough lifespan as it is. Don't give your cat heroin, all right? You're just asking for trouble.
That's another movie altogether, probably.
Don't give your dog LSD, okay? Don't do it.
Dog LSD. Yep.
That's what Hazzard is trying to say.
That's right. Keep the cocaine.
But she ducks out. She makes a statement like that and she ducks out.
Yeah. Keep the drugs away from
because
the dog.
You're saying it beautifully. Exactly. What Master Sergeant is saying.
I just think, keep the cocaine away from the bears. That way there's more for us. Oh wait, no.
Don't feed the bears cocaine.
Don't feed the bears cocaine. Smoky,
that's
but
our
not
public
like
service
that.
announcement on this show.
That's right. We're not just entertaining; we're educational.
Thank you all for joining us for episode 118 of the Big Monster Briefing Room. I'm General Howitzer, and this guy,
Sergeant Havoc,
and of course Major Hazzard, who's probably seen some Bigfoots on cocaine. That's my guess.
Yes, they often indulge. They often can indulge, and they get a little bit more erratic than usual when that happens.
You see one of those Bigfoots with a big long fingernail, Big nail. Not a Bigfoot, big nail.
That's right.
All right.
Well,
those big
Cadet Myers.
monsters.
Oh.
So that first bear.
Wait. Master Sergeant was saying something to Cadet Myers.
No. Cadet Myers had some good advice. He says, to keep your cocaine in a sealed bag up in a tree.
That's right.
Yeah. When you go camping, it helps to hang your cocaine high up in a tree.
It does. It absolutely
does.
That
stuff was wrapped up in wax, in those nice wax paper, and it was plastic probably on the inside.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably well insulated, but the bear could still smell that with the bear nose, And I was going to say to Hazzard, that first bear that she didn't like, the gnarly looking one.
Yes.
That's a face that only a mother could love, right?
There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Fantastic.
I had to get that in there for her.
Thank you. It's your catch line. You got to say it. It's what you're known for. That and the peach tea noises, which you did beautifully at the beginning of the show. Thank you.
All right, I got a little bit of peach tea left. Okay. We'll close out with that.